Let's start. Hello, netizens. This is Manoj Chawla, and you are watching Mac Notes. Today, we will learn how to develop a video voice chat app. The features of this chat app: video calling and chatting, upcoming features, sharing files and images, mode recognition using facial expressions, code fragments. Code is divided into three parts: index.html as UI part, main.js as client side program, server.js server side program. Coming to the code logic, we are using simple peer package for connecting two clients in real time. Before the clients are connected, signaling should be done. Signaling means an offer will be sent by a client. If the other client accepts it, then both will be connected, or else no connection. In simple words, before we speak with the other person in a phone call, we will be receiving a call request. If we are willing to talk, we will lift the call, or else we will end the call. Here, the same concept applies. Client 1 sends offer to client 2 via server. The response from client 2 is again sent back to client 1 via server. Once both are connected, both can speak to each other. Let's start the code part. We will start with the UI part. This is the HTML page, which is the UI for my web application. This HTML holds two parts, head part and body part. Head part holds the title of my application and also the style sheets. Here I am using Bootstrap CDN style sheet. You can copy this or get this link from the internet by typing Bootstrap CDN style sheet. I have created a responsive fluid type container, and also to keep the video in the center irrespective of page dimensions, I have used dflex justify content center. And to hold my video element, I have created a video element. And the other division is, this division is for the client 2 who is going to be added dynamically to this div id peer div. Coming to the script, I had added socket.io.js script to acquire the functions of Node.js from client side. And I also included bundle.js to hold all the necessary packages to make the Node.js to work in the client end. Usually, the Node.js will be installed in the server side, but not in the client side. Just to make those functions work from the client side, we are including the socket.io.js and bundle.js. Bundle.js is nothing but the combination of main.js code and the packages that necessary to work this Node.js code from the client end. Let me show you the bundle.js code. This is the bundle.js code which will be developed automatically by running a command npx watchify the main.js output bundle.js. I will show you the command later. This is the bundle.js file which consists main.js data, main.js program, and also the necessary packages code. Coming to main.js, this acts as client side program, and server.js is the program which runs in the server side. To have a connection between main.js and server.js, from main.js we are calling a function where socket equal to io constructor call. Calling the io constructor is to create a connection between the server.js and client main.js. Now, coming to main.js, that is client side end, we need to install simple peer package by using this command. Now we are getting the video element from the index.html file that I have shown previously and copying it to the variable video. And I have created a object, client object. We are using the command navigator.media devices.get user media is just to get the permission for the accessing the video and audio drivers. If the permission is given, then the video and audio stream will be started. When the stream is started, then the event socket.emit user connected will be triggered. Now coming to server.js, here we are importing all the necessary requirements such as Express. This is a module or the package which is needed for creating a web server, and we are calling the web server. Now to use the web server with HTTP request, we are also importing the HTTP module, and we are also importing socket.io, which is a event driven networking. With along with this HTTP request, we are going to send the events with which we are going to connect the server and main.js, that is client side. And we are creating a port, variable port, where we are assigning the port number. And coming to the command app.use express.static. Generally, this express.static purpose is to create a virtual location in web server that holds all the static HTML files. Once the socket.emit user connected event is triggered, then in server, the io.on connection will be made and listens for this user connected event. And when the event is listened, then the function will be executed. Here we have created a logic to check whether how many number of clients has been added till now. If the clients are less than 3 and the number of clients added are equal to 2, then only the offer needs to be sent. um, Otherwise the will not be shared. Now here, since consider that two clients have been added, suppose consider the two clients as client 1 and client 2. The two clients has been added. In this case, the server requires a client to raise the offer. Now here, this is the offer event triggered by the server. Coming to the client side, here you can see, with the help of socket.on, we are listening for the event offer. When the offer event signaled by the server to init type peer, usually we are having two clients, client 1 and client 2. Out of these two clients, one client will act as init peer and another client acts as non-init peer. Init peer in the sense initializing peer, the guy who is going to send the offer. The guy, I mean, if the person is non-init peer, then he will wait for the offer instead of creating a offer. Here, the offer is emitted. When the offer event has been triggered, we will come to the client side, and here it listens for the offer, and then the offer function will be triggered. Here, initially, we will consider the client.got answer equal to false, because till now we haven't shared any offer to anyone, and also we didn't had any response. So as a default, we will consider client.got answer equal to false. Later in this step, let peer equal to peer initialize of type init. We will go to the function peer init. This is the peer initializing function. Here we are having peer initializing command. In this statement, you can see that whenever the initiator is true, the type of peer who is initiated will become initiating peer, nothing but init peer. Let peer is equal to peer init of type init peer. That is, the type that we are sharing is init type. So now the peer will be initializing peer. Therefore, this peer generates a signal. On signal, this event executes the function and shares the offer data along with the event offer data sent to server. This data is nothing but the offer data that has been raised or initialized by the init type peer. This offer data sent to server event will be listened by the server. See, with the help of socket.on, we are listening for the event offer data sent to server. Then the function which is carrying the data will be broadcasted to offer data from server to the peer. This event is created and broadcasted the data to the client. Now search for this event in the client end. Offer data from server to other peer. If you see here, the offer data from server to the peer event is listened, and the function client end will be triggered. Here we are creating this as non-init type peer because to connect the two clients, one client definitely should act as init peer. It means the other peer is nothing but non-init peer. To do so, we are creating a non-init type peer here. We are calling peer init function with non-init type, which means here it will be non-init. Therefore, no signal will be generated. Since the signal is not generated, we cannot, this is a listening event for the signal, but for non-init type, signal won't be created because the initiator is false. So we are going to do it manually by using p.signal. With the help of p.signal method, we are going to call the signal listener event, and we are also passing the offer data, the data that we have received from the server. I mean the data which has been sent by the client 1 to the server has been received by the peer 2. Peer 2 is nothing but client 2. This data, this is nothing but the offer data, and this offer data has been sent to the signal event here, and this callback function is holding the offer data. This offer data is again sent as response, and an event client response to server is triggered by passing the data, and search for the event client response to the server in server end here, and the data that has been sent or triggered from this event is passed through the function, and this response data has been again passed to the client one with the event response to peer end along with the data. This data is the response data which has been received from the client 2. Now check for response to peer end in client end. Response to peer end here. Once the event is listened, then init peer end the function will be executed. Here the data that we received, since there is no objection created or raised by the client 2, as a default we will consider client.got_answer equal to 2. To create an objection like he's not interested in picking up the call, he can simply object. When he objects, then client.getAnswer it will be false. To do so, we can create a logic, and we can um, create an objection or acceptance. For now, I am creating as a default the acceptance is true, and this the data, this is the response data that we have received from the server, I mean from client 2 to the server to the client 1 again this data will be sent to the signal event. In the signal event, we can see, right, there is a condition like if the client dot got answer false, then the offer will be sent. Since the client dot got answer is equal to true, now the offer will not be sent anymore. Therefore, since the two peers are connected in simple peer, uh, it, the two peers are said to be connected when the data of client 1 is shared to the client 2 and the client 2 data is shared to the client 1, then a connection will be automatically set. This is made by the daemon processes, nothing but the background processes of the simple peer package. This is the flexibility of using simple peer package. We know we don't need to work much hard for the connecting two peers. We just need to pass the data of client 1 to the client 2 and the client 2 data to the client 1, which we did with the help of socket IO, which is nothing but event driven networking with the help of events. That is what till now we have gone through. Once the two peers are connected, automatically the p dot on connect, I mean the connect event will be triggered, and it will call a create div function. This create div function creates a div element with the id message status, and it calls a p div of I mean it calls the div of id p div and appends the child div, that is the div element that we created here, to the peer div. Wait a second, I will show you the peer div. The create div element is calling this division and appending the, I mean this is the id equal to peer div, and appending the created div element to show the message status is appended to this div element. Okay, and also as stated before, we are going to create a video element of the peer to or client to dynamically. To do so, when the video to, I mean sorry, when the client 2 has the video stream, then we will create a create video stream function. In this create video stream function, we are creating a video element with the id peer video and a class of embed responsive item, and the stream, the p2 video stream is copied to the videos.source object, I mean to the element video, and we are calling the div of id peer div and appending this video element to this. Simply it is emulating like the previous division. In this division you can see the video element here, but here we are creating the video element dynamically when the stream of the other client is available, and it is being appended to this division class, sorry, to the to this division element. This is what this function is performing. We have completed the explanation of code part. Now I will show you the demo, how to copy this code and how it is going to work in action. Open the Visual Studio Code. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can install it. In as per my preference, I prefer to use Visual Studio Code than any other integrated development environments, because it is lightweight, and also it is much more suitable for web projects. It has many plugins that helps us to perform many functions and create projects very easily. You can see, right? I have already imported this. This is the bundle.js file that we discussed earlier, and this is the main.js file and server.js file. I think I forgot to explain about package.json. This package.json file is the file which stores all the dependencies and dev dependencies required for our project. Whenever we install, I mean to install Express, Simple Peer, Socket IO, we will be simply using the command npm, which is nothing but node package manager, npm install save express socket.io simple pair. By using this command, you can install all the necessary modules, and this will be shown here in this JSON file. If you haven't installed the simple peer socket and other modules, these files won't be displayed in the JSON file. So just to make sure whether you are having all the dependencies or the dependence that is installed for this project are shown here. And the purpose of watchfile is to convert the main.js file to bundle.js. To do so, you need to be using the command npx watchify main.js output to bundle.js. By using this command, you can simply convert the main.js file to bundle.js file. This bundle.js file holds all the data and the necessary packages to make the Node.js code run from the client side end. I mean from the client browser end. This is how the code is going to be performed. Once everything is done, run the code by node server.js. In the browser, share the link with the port number that we have defined. I have defined here 3000. You can define it with 8080 even. And you can see, right, I have opened two tabs. One tab is related to client 1 and another tab is related to client 2. Here I am emulating as client 1 and client 2. So you can see the two video sources of mine itself. Whenever we face any mic issues, we can even use this chat application option. I hope you liked it. Please click on the like button and subscribe for more updates.